Hey everybody, it's me, Face of America, back with another article. Today's article is from Politico, and the title is The Grand Old Party of Crybabies. This is admittedly an older article, but I wanted to highlight it today because it's written by Vivek Ramaswamy. And if you don't know who that is, he is an up-and-coming candidate for president. And a lot of people trust this guy, and he says all the right things. But I think that you will see another side of him in this article. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. As you'll notice, it was written in 2022. This excerpt is adapted from Nation of Victims, Identity Politics, The Death of Merit, and the Path Back to Excellence. It was a dark day for democracy. The loser of the election refused to concede the race, claimed the election was stolen, raised hundreds of millions of dollars from loyal supporters, and is running for executive office again. I'm referring, of course, to Stacey Abrams. To this day, even as Abrams campaigns for governor again in the 2022 election, she still refuses to concede that she lost the last one. But conservatives have their own victimhood complexes these days. We are, after all, a nation of victims now. All that differs is whom we see as our oppressors. The worst victimhood narrative that afflicts modern conservatives is their budding belief that any election they lose must have been stolen. Instead of distinguishing ourselves as the party that strives for excellence and rejects the easy path of victimhood narratives, we simply created our own. While Donald Trump promised to lead the nation to recommit itself to the pursuit of greatness, what he delivered in the end was just another tale of grievance, a persecution complex that swallowed much of the Republican Party whole. Trump took a page from the Abrams playbook. His claims were just as weak as Abrams. She claimed voter suppression in her 2018 defeat. He claimed voter fraud 2 years later. He filed scores of lawsuits over various claims of fraud, as was his right, but they came nowhere close to changing the outcome in a single state, let alone the several swing states whose results he needed to overturn. In many cases, judges the president himself had nominated ruled against him, a sign of health in our nation's institutions. Of the 62 lawsuits he and his supporters filed, he lost all but one, a minor victory in Pennsylvania that affected few votes. A Supreme Court with a strong conservative majority ruled against Trump twice. Top election officials in virtually every state, regardless of party, said they'd found no evidence of any significant level of fraud. Our institutions did hold in the end, but they shouldn't have been tested. Beyond all the court decisions, statements from election officials, and a general lack of evidence of fraud, what I keep coming back to is this. Why do I see Republicans insisting that the presidential election was stolen, yet accepting the legitimacy of the congressional ones? At times, the Republican Party seems to be moving toward the position that any race it wins are legitimate and any it loses were stolen. That's not a tenable view. It's just the preferred conservative brand of victimhood, a knee-jerk kind of sore losing, more common to playgrounds than great republics. I say this as a conservative with some pretty well-established conservative bona fides. My last book was called Woke Incorporated. Republicans could have become the one major party that moved beyond grievance and aimed only for greatness. Instead, we placed grudges about elections at the core of party identity. Once victimhood becomes part of the essence of both parties, it's just a national identity. So knowing now how he feels about the 2020 election, how do you feel about him? Please leave a comment in the comment section. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please, have a good one.